Good morning, guys. Welcome to Tyler's Talking Sports. So it's either Monday morning or it's Thursday morning because we drop 2 episodes weekly at 6 a.m. Monday morning and Thursday morning. Monday morning's episode will be called Off the Record, where we talk about a little bit of everything. We just sit back, 2 guys talking about sports. My name is Tyler Hess. On the other side of the mic, you're going to hear from my brother from another mother, Tyler Castle. We talk sports. We're going to become your favorite sports podcast. You're going to want to listen to us. But Mondays, we have Off the Record. Thursday morning is where you find out what's getting ready to happen this upcoming Saturday in college football. We go over the biggest matchups, who's going to win the Heisman, who we think is going to win. We also talk about the local games here in Southwest Virginia and East Tennessee. So we're so glad to have you guys, but do us one favor. It's one itty-bitty favor. If you don't care, whatever it is you're listening on, because, guys, we on everything. We on all major podcasting platforms, and we're on YouTube. And we're on Facebook, so be sure you hit that follow button. Be sure you follow us, subscribe to us, do whatever you can. Every little bit helps, guys, and we appreciate everything. We're doing this for you guys, and we hope you fall in love with us. Love us or hate us, we feel like you're going to come back. Thank you, guys. Enjoy this episode.
This episode is brought to you by Next Level Fitness Club in Lebanon, Virginia. 1806 East Main Street, Lebanon, Virginia, 24266. They are a 24/7 gym facility, 24/7 tanning. They also offer certified personal training and certified functional fitness classes to fit all needs. If you're in the market for a gym membership, this is a great place to hit up. Hit up Ethan, Tyler, or Jordan at any of their numbers, and check out their website at www.nextlevelfitnessclub276.com.
This episode is brought to you by Little's Lawn Care. Little's Lawn Care is the all-you-need lawn care people. You need your yard mowed. You need your leaves blowed out of your yard. You need your gutters cleaned out. Contact Little's Lawn Care at 276-698-5104. Again, that number is 276-698-5104. You can text them and you can call him. His name is Brandon Little. He's an incredible person, and be sure you let him know that Tyler sent you.
And we're live! Season 2, Episode 22, Week 12 is here.
It is.
This is Tyler's Talking Sports. Happy Thursday morning.
Woo, Thursday, baby.
6 a.m., bright and early. Hopefully y'all have had a great week so far.
Hope so.
We're almost to the weekend, so just hang in there. If this is your first time listening, on the other side of the mic, my brother from another mother, Tyler Hess, and myself, Tyler Castle, bringing you Tyler's Talking Sports. And what we do here is we talk college football and just anything in general. We also have Off the Record going on Monday mornings, where we cover just a little bit of everything, a little bit of what we're feeling, what we want to talk about, just anything sports related, anything life related. And we're trying to get some more guests on that. So if you're listening to this, if you want to come on the pod, let us know.
Absolutely.
We do have someone that should be coming on maybe potentially this Sunday. We'll see. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, try not to stub my toe next time we have a guest on.
Yeah, man. Try not to do that. Try not to do that. Shout out to Brian. No free shout outs.
Yeah. Buddy, we got an announcement. We're close. We're 10 days.
We are
we're
closing
9 days.
in.
9 days.
9 days.
9 days. Head to boom, baby.
Boom, baby.
Can't wait.
Coming to your city.
Coming to the city. This is going to be huge. Barbecue, Jell-O shots, people just wanting us down there. We're so excited about it.
Surf and turf, baby.
Surf and turf, yes. Oh, man, it's gonna be a great time. I'm excited about it. Hey, Appy State, on a bye week, they get time to prepare for JMU.
JMU's 7-2, 8-2, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty tough.
Yep.
It'll be pretty tough, but we're gonna bring the sunshine and we're going to get that dub.
That's right. We're going
to get that dub down to App State. That's next Saturday, guys, at 2:30 p.m. If you remember, if you go back, I think it's like episode 19 or 8. Yeah, 19. I think it's 19 or 18. You have to go back and look. We do go through our agenda. We'll go over that again, of course, next week. Just kind of let everybody know what the plan is, where we're going. But we do have a time now.
Yep.
The game is at 2:30. 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, baby. So
we'll get into the game when we get into the game.
Yeah, forecast right now, possibly calling for a little snow.
Yeah.
You said it might be rain now?
Yeah, might be calling for rain Friday night. Might be a little snow flurries that morning. High 52.
High 52. I got a little surprise for the viewers.
Oh.
Can't tell them what it is.
Oh, boy.
Just got to tune in and see.
Well, I know people are excited about it. They've been talking about it, been running into people at the store. Like, hey, when is that Boone trip? When are y'all going? People are excited. A lot of people watching. Shout out to Dylan Wall. Yes, not only he get us the tickets for this, but where he works, they watch our podcast. They put it up on the screen instead of watching over their important stuff. They're watching me and you talk about sports. So shout out to those guys.
Love it.
Also, I want to shout out one young listener who was informing me that he does listen to us and watch us on YouTube. That would be Brady Goldfoot Beavers. So, Brady, this is to you, buddy. Shout out to you, big dog. We'll give you a shout out.
Appreciate you,
man.
Shout
and everybody else, guys. Appreciate you guys. Got a fun episode here. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that App State trip. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be one for the books. We got a lot of stuff to do before then. So
why are we wearing sunglasses?
It's bright outside.
Oh. Okay.
Because I didn't want to see you because it's Georgia and Tennessee hate week. That's really
right.
why.
That's right.
I didn't want to see your eyeballs.
That's fine. I get it. I mean,
yeah.
If I lost 7 straight to you, I'd be mad too.
Oh, 7 straight. Oh, yeah. 2016. Mm-hmm. Take it. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Before we get into that, let's get in some local games.
Let's do it, man. We got a couple big ones here. We got Emory and Henry at Newberry at 1 p.m. Saturday. Emory's coming off a big win against Southwest Virginia Rival UVA. Wobble. UVA
come off the Southwest. We win your Wobble.
We beat UVA Wise last weekend, 62-14. But that's not the big news out of Emory today. Big news. Big coaching news. They did hire Coach, is it Quentin Johnson?
I think that sounds right.
Let me check that. Make sure I got it right here.
That was on Monday, right?
Yep, that was Monday. They officially made the hire. He's no longer the interim coach. Gosh, I want to get that right. It'll pop up, but it's not. Of course it's not. Why not? Why would it? Well, guys, I'm so sorry. I had it right here, ready to go.
Ridiculous.
I know, man. I know.
Come prepared next time.
I'm sorry. Quentin Hunter. Coach Q. Yep, shout out to him. Congratulations on getting the job. Well deserved, in my opinion, what he's done with Emory.
Very well deserved.
Took over the beginning of this year as an interim, and now he is the man. He's the main guy. So shout out to him and that coaching staff. Shout out to those kids, getting them a good coach. But I got Newberry. Newberry's 3-6 on the year, 3-4 in conference. They're having a down year compared to most years. Newberry's usually a pretty competitive team, but they are coming off a dreadful loss to Wingate, 38-0. Who you taking in this one, big guy?
Man, I ain't picking against the Wasps.
Can't.
The Wasps have been excellent this year. This is another must-win game. Emory big, man. Emory by 3 touchdowns.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Keep that offense clicking. Players watching this one, quarterback Cole Lambert and wide receiver Cam Abshir. Those two have been connecting real well, especially last week. They both torched the field against UVA Wise. But, yeah, I'm with you on this one, man. I think Emory big in this one, 3 touchdowns. You know what? I'll say 4 touchdowns just to add a little difference to it. But, yeah, Emory big in this one.
Emory big, baby.
Yep.
They got one more game after this, right?
Mm-mm.
It's the last game of the season.
It's the last game of the season right here. Everybody, a lot of these local schools are wrapping up.
So what are they, 7-2?
Yep. I believe so, yeah. Yeah. What we got next?
8-2. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Sorry, man. I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid season.
Very solid season.
Up next, man, on the docket, we got UVA Wise at Barton this Saturday at 6 p.m.
And I know a couple episodes ago, like maybe 5 or 6, you were talking about Barton.
Yep.
And we were like, Barton, sounds like a North Carolina school. It is a North Carolina school. They're out of Winston-Salem.
Figured with a name like Barton. Yeah, Barton. Wise is 0-3 all time when playing Barton. So that's surprising.
Yeah.
Which Barton won the last meeting between the two, 28-24, so it was a close matchup. Mm-hmm. Right now, currently, Barton is 3-6 on the season and 2-6 in conference play. And coming off a terrible loss last week to Limestone, 40-26.
Yeah.
Who you got in this one?
Man, I don't know. It seems like every time I've wanted to go with Wise and I picked them, they've dropped the ball, they fumbled it on me, and every time I go against them, they show up. But I'm going to go with Cooper Wick and the UVA Wise here and get them another dub and finish this out this season pretty strong. Get that first win against Barton.
Yeah, man, I like that take a lot. I mean, Cooper Wick didn't have a great game against Emory, which nobody really has this year. Emory's defense is legit, but you do have that senior leader, AJ Stewart.
Yeah.
Looks to lead that defense, so that defense is looking pretty good. So for that reason, give me Barton by 3.
Oh,
continue the winning streak to 4. 27-24 this year, a little closer.
Players watching this when we talked about it, that Cooper Wick quarterback, also his number 1 target, Khalil Jones Jr., and you mentioned him, senior, DB, AJ Stewart. He led him last week in tackles. He had, I think, 7 tackles, 5 tackles, and 1.5 tackles for loss. So, dude was just lighting it up against Emory, so he's going to hope to keep that going. But yeah, I got Wise in this one. I'm gonna go with them close, get that first win, and then you're going with Barton.
Boy.
Next one. Got Bluefield U at home, last game of the season against Point University. Point University, if you don't know, is from Valley, Alabama. Long way to come coming to old Bluefield to play a football game.
That is a long drive.
Point comes in this game on a massive 3-game winning streak. And when I say massive, it's about the teams they beat. They beat Pikeville, St. Andrews, and Union Commonwealth. They're to get these 3-game winning streak going. Bluefield, we talked about them. I mean, it's been, I hate to say it, but it's been almost an abysmal season for them. Their leading rusher, Abdul Calico, has 285 yards on the season. That's their leading rusher.
Yeah.
So it's been abysmal for them.
Solid numbers.
Yeah, but I believe, I believe Dewey can do something here. So give me Coach Lusk and the Bluefield Rams to win this one close.
Yeah, Dewey Pooey. You ain't going to get this one, man. I'm going to tell you that right now. Give me Point University, 42-14.
42-14. I don't know, man. I got hopes in old Nathan Hertrich. He's leading them this year in passing yards with 1,300 yards passing. So we'll see. Bluefield U, maybe they pull it off. Who knows? It's a coin flip with them. It really feels like. And you and them glasses, man. I feel like you're staring into my soul.
I am. I'm staring deep inside.
Got a big game here, though. We got another big one. ETSU versus Furman. Sorry. I said Foreman. I've been talking at work today about Foreman.
Hey, get over here, Foreman.
But ETSU's coming off a big win against Western Carolina University, 24-21 last week, which propelled them to the top 25 again. They went from unranked to 21st in the country.
Rightfully so.
6-4, they're looking at a good playoff spot if they can just win out this game, finish 7-4 on the season. We talked about our boy Jalen King leading them in passing yards. He got 1,500.
He probably won't be starting, though. Gino English got to start last week.
Yeah, English got to start last week. I'm not sure if King's been hurt or if it just they're going with a hot hand. Bryson Irby's been pretty much consistent for them in that running game. And then Johnson's has been the number one target with both quarterbacks. He's leading them in receptions with 34 and 556 yards on the season. Darius Rucker, I know a lot of people were talking about that. Came last week, didn't sing. It was a lip sing. He ended up donating $11,000.
It was quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a huge amount of money to the NIL to them because for every second that he stood there and didn't play. So I think he donated $1,000 for every second he stood there and didn't actually sing the song.
What a guy.
So he said he loved it being down there, loved the stadium. They did have a record crowd. I think they're trying to break that record this weekend. But yeah, like we said, ETSU's 21st in the country, 6-4 on the season. Furman, 2-7.
Furman 2-7.
Yeah, coming in to ETSU.
Yeah, you look at their schedule here. They've had some close games. Especially ETSU. ETSU's had some really close games. Oh, yeah. But they found a way to win. Good teams find a way to win. So that's why I'm going to pick ETSU again. Find a way to win. Finish up with 7 wins there. Yeah, I
like that one. I'm going
ETSU by 14.
Yeah, I'm going ETSU big in this one. Give me ETSU by 27. I think they tear it up. Air raid offense goes off. I think Bryson Irby hits 100 yards rushing. I think there's all aspects of the game they're going to dominate.
You mentioned, a second ago, you mentioned Darius Rucker. Do you mean Hootie or the Blowfish?
I meant Darius, man. He made more money being Darius Rucker than he did Hootie.
Hootie and the Blowfish, man.
Yeah, Hootie.
God, he hooted out of there, didn't he?
He
didn't even sing.
Big news. Had some other news came out, what was it, Tuesday night, 8:30-ish, something like that. The college football playoff rankings, and man, has this stirred up a lot of conversation. You want to go over those top, I guess, your top 12?
Yeah. I got these, the 4 seeds right now, top 4 seeds. Right,
and these
now,
are your highest-ranked conference champions.
Right now, these would get a first-round bye, so that is number 1 seeded Oregon Ducks. Quack, quack. Number 2 seed Texas Longhorns. Number 3 seed BYU Cougars. And number 4 seed Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, I'm going to look something real fast while you're...
Well, you better hurry it up because I'm getting to the first-round matchups.
Go ahead. You can talk about what they got right now.
First-round matchups. First one here on the docket, we'd have Notre Dame at number 9, traveling to Neyland in Knoxville to play number 8 Tennessee Vols. The winner of that game would play Oregon.
Before you go any farther, I do want to point out that Miami is actually ranked 9th because they'd be the highest-seeded conference champion in the ACC. They would be 4th. But that speaks volumes because Miami loses a game, and they're 9th right now. They're out.
Yeah.
Miami's 1 loss away from not making the playoffs. BYU, they're ranked 6th.
So is Tennessee.
Tennessee's 1 loss away. But yeah, continue on with that.
Which I get the committee's thing. I'm not going to get on a Tennessee tangent here. But, like, Indiana beat Michigan, who's 5-4, by 5. Okay? Tennessee lost to Arkansas to a 5-4. Arkansas is 5-4. They lost. That's where that's coming in, I do believe. But then you go to BYU. BYU won on they shouldn't have won that game after you see that call against Utah. They should have lost.
Right.
They won by 1 point, and they jumped Tennessee.
The argument
I know BYU beat SMU.
That's the argument that I've seen that the committee chair, which by the way, the committee chair is the AD at University of Michigan.
I know.
He came out and said that BYU had a quality win against a quality opponent, and Indiana had a quality win against a quality opponent. Tennessee did not play a quality opponent, and they struggled with what he said there. And he said Georgia didn't play a quality opponent, and that's why they fell out.
I don't necessarily agree.
I have a very good argument, if I can find it here on YouTube, that absolutely just slays.
Well, that is the argument. You just said it. I mean, I get it, but I'm just saying, somebody's fan base is going to be pissed off. That's all. It's just going to be like Florida State, except now it's going to be up to 12 teams. So, yeah.
The thing is, Georgia is, I won't argue Georgia's behalf here. They got them ranked 12th in this, but they get jumped because of Boise State being the highest ranked at large.
Sure.
Georgia lost to Alabama. They lost to Ole Miss. They have 2 wins. They're the only team in the top 10 that has 2 ranked wins.
Yeah, against Texas and
they had the number 1 strength of schedule in the country this season.
Who's the other one? Who else y'all beat?
They beat Texas and
somebody else.
Clemson,
first game season. That's right.
And they have the number 1 strength schedule in the country. They have all of their ranked opponents have been on the road. This is the first time they played a ranked opponent at home this year. It will be this weekend against Tennessee. It was a neutral site against Clemson, but is what it is. They beat them by 25. But you're going to sit here and say that Texas, who has yet to beat a ranked opponent, who actually has the 55th toughest schedule in the country, Miami.
Dude, I just realized I had my sunglasses on. I'm so sorry.
Oh, really?
I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize.
No, you didn't realize it at all, did you?
I did not.
I'm going to have to pull this video. I can't find it on YouTube to share it to everybody. I'm going to pull it up here because I really like what's said here because I think it speaks volumes to really what's happening.
Some numbers.
This is Mike Green and Paul Falk.
Georgia's strength of schedule right now is number 1 in the country. Number 1. Their strength of record is number 3 in the country. There are teams ahead, and they are right now out of the playoff. For the record, they beat Texas at Texas.
It's what Paul Feinbaum says is what really just, I think, is
their strength of record is 10. They haven't beaten a team that is ranked, and they are number 3 in the country. And Georgia, at this moment, is on the outside looking in. Paul, this is it is a mockery. How could you explain it?
Well, you have to start by saying that what the committee said last night was a complete travesty. There's no getting around it. And I know they work hard. They sit in a room at a 5-star resort ordering caviar and champagne and sit around and talk about college football when they have 4,000 numbers to look at. So I don't
read some numbers.
How they came up with these numbers. Georgia started the season, Greeny, against Clemson, which has been ranked which was in the top 10 at the time. Their road schedule has been the
if you do it based off at the time, that's different.
They went to Alabama. Texas,
well, he's still saying too. They're still ranked. They're
in
the top 25.
They also went to Kentucky, which has been very poor, but they did beat
Ole Miss, who's now ranked ahead of Georgia.
They have a chance. They'll play Tennessee this weekend, and if they win, they'll probably end up back in the committee's good graces. But how the committee can disrespect them and put schools like Penn State? Are you serious? What has Penn State done this year? Do they even have their most impressive
win? It's Illinois.
Was at Southern Cal, a 5-loss team, and against
Michigan, USC, they kicked the field goal.
5-loss team. Somewhere in there, they beat Illinois, which I haven't seen in a couple of weeks. There's no justification.
Illinois kind of dropping off, though.
Yeah, but it's such a.
Well, look at your Big Ten schools.
That's the thing too, and I'm sitting here like we got this 12-team playoff, and it's supposed to be your best 12 schools. I get giving the conference champion an incentive. I'm good with that. But here's what we're very close to having a Colorado team who is ranked 21st in the country winning their last couple of games and beating BYU in the Big 12 championship, and they're a 4 seed. Miami losing one game, go from 4 to out. SMU jumping to 3.
That's crazy.
Texas, if they lose the SEC title game, or if Texas loses to Texas A&M here in 2 weeks, and then they lose the SEC title game, you're looking at possibly Ole Miss. You're looking at Tennessee. You're looking at Georgia jumping into this. Georgia from out right now to in. Oregon, they lose to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. And then you got all these other – Notre Dame. I mean, there is –
That's why I said that championship game might actually hurt you.
It very well could, but it's just – we argued for years, the 4 teams, you didn't get your best 4. And now we have 12, and you're sitting here.
Still can't get the best 12.
You're sitting here telling me that I've beaten a 5-5 USC and a 5-5 Michigan is a quality win over beating a Mississippi State or beating a Alabama or beating a Texas. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I would like to see. This is what I would love to see is Tennessee beats Georgia this weekend. Say that propels them to number 1 in the SEC. I don't know how. I can't remember how the rankings are set, but say it does. Where do they set Tennessee? Would Tennessee set at 4? Would they set at 2?
Well, they would. I mean,
they would have 2 wins against Alabama and Georgia against 2 ranked opponents. They would join Georgia as beating 2 ranked opponents this year,
and they'd be first in SEC.
They'd be first in SEC. So, but they're 1 loss. Like I don't like it. Like both Georgia and Tennessee, especially Tennessee.
Well,
they got
let's say they lose to Vandy in the season.
I mean, it's just I don't like the fact that Georgia's sitting here with 2 losses and Tennessee's sitting here with 1 loss.
And we might both miss it.
Well, if Georgia wins, they're going to propel in, and then you all are out, and you have no way to get back in. You're going to go from –
terrible.
I think they got Tennessee ranked 9th.
Imagine losing 2 games in the SEC
Let me see
and not making it.
And that's the other thing, too. Everybody's looking at these seeds.
That's why I couldn't understand. I mean, I get Indiana because they're undefeated, but really, I mean, they beat Michigan by 5. And then BYU beat Utah, who's 4-6 now, by a field goal. And they should have lost. Should have lost that game, clearly. And they jumped Tennessee as well. So that's my thing. And Tennessee did, I mean, they beat, sure, they didn't play the best, but they still won by 19.
Okay, here it is. Oregon is technically the number 1 team in the college football playoff. Then it's Ohio State.
We're getting on a tangent.
Then it's Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana. BYU is the 6th ranked team in the college football rankings. Tennessee is 7th. That means they're 1 loss away from being out. Notre Dame is 8th. They're 1 loss away. But see, Notre Dame is the 8th team. They're the 9th seed in the tournament. Alabama is 10th. Ole Miss is 11, and Boise State jumped. Georgia's actually 12th, but Boise State gets ahead of them because of being the at-large. I don't know. There's something weird with this formula. I don't like the fact that somebody who is the AD of another school is pissed off. It's pissed off because his team is white trash this year and can't do anything, and he's going to take it out on everybody else. Like Indiana beat a
same AD who knew they were cheating. By the way,
yeah, I don't see how you can have that. Me and you might as well be on that committee.
Yeah.
Like
you can be that biased, yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But
I think it should be like somebody that knows, not necessarily knows nothing about sports, but somebody that's not like affiliated with any of these colleges.
I agree 100%. And I mean, it was like a guy I was talking to today. We was talking about the playoff rankings. Playoffs start this weekend. Yeah. This Georgia-Tennessee game is a wild card game, and whoever wins is going on, and whoever loses is done. It doesn't matter what happens. Granted, I can get the argument that Georgia loses 3 losses. It's going to be really hard to put them. I understand 100%. But the fact that Tennessee, who has 1 loss on the season, to a decent Arkansas team,
by 4 or 5,
to an Arkansas team that I would say is better than Michigan, it is better than USC. And they're going to lose that. They lose to Georgia at Georgia, which is a very high possibility because it's tough to play there. Georgia's going to be ready. And they're done? Yeah. That's a travesty. I agree. It's an absolute travesty that that's an elimination game.
Yeah. It sucks, man.
Yeah.
But imagine being a Vols fan. Make it all the way here and then be like, oh.
Which is like, too, if Pitt beats Clemson this weekend, I mean,
yeah,
it changes everything again.
God, man, it's getting wild.
UVA upsets. I mean, if some upsets happen this weekend, this whole playoff system's in shambles.
Yeah,
because you're going to end up having teams ranked in the top 10 that ain't going to be able to make the playoff. Because
I'm sure there's going to be some changes.
Yeah,
after this first initial year, there's always going to be some changes.
Yeah,
maybe. But anyway, guys,
that's playoff rankings. Sorry about that, guys.
I just went through the first ones there. The next games up would be number 12, Boise. Like I said, they're actually 13th, but they're 12th in playoff rankings right now. So number 12, Boise State at number 5, Ohio State. The winner of that would play Miami. Then next up, you'd have number 11, Ole Miss at number 6, Penn State. The winner of that would play number 3, BYU. And then last but not least, Alabama makes it into the playoffs here at number 10 at Indiana versus number 7. It would play the winner or would play Texas.
And that's one more thing. Alabama's in. Alabama's got 2 losses. Yeah, Vandy and Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They're holding foot at 10 because they beat Georgia.
That's it.
And on the other side of this, I'm going to be a fan here.
Think about that. So let's say we lose to Georgia. Went out, beat Vandy. Right, but we beat Bama.
Oh, here's the fun fact here.
That just blows my mind. And let's say we beat Vandy.
If you gonna
put Bama in still?
Hypothetically.
So you're telling me that? Hang on. So you're telling me that
we got
Arkansas is better than Tennessee, or yeah, that's what you'd be telling me. Arkansas is better than Vandy, or Vandy's better than Arkansas.
All right, right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now in the SEC, we got to figure this out because this right here is going to open up the door.
That's garbage, man.
Conference play. There's 2 teams. There's 3 teams with 1 loss in SEC play. That's Tennessee, A&M, and Texas. Then you have Georgia with 2 losses, Ole Miss with 2 losses, Alabama with 2 losses, LSU with 2 losses. Then you get to the 3-loss SEC schools with South Carolina, Arkansas, and Vandy, and then Florida, and then Oklahoma at 1-5 in SEC play, Auburn 1-5, Mississippi State's 0-6. Okay, you all lose this weekend, you get 2 losses. So now you join the group of 2-loss SEC schools,
Woo-hoo!
which is Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. Texas gets beat by A&M, or Texas beats A&M. One of them joins the 2-loss. So now you have a 3-way tie to see who plays Texas. Okay, you have the tiebreaker over Alabama. Alabama has a tiebreaker over us. We have the tiebreaker over you. I don't know how all that – and then it would ultimately come down to strength of schedule, which Georgia would have that if that's how the SEC's got. I don't know if it goes common opponent and something and then tiebreaker. So I don't know what that something is. So essentially, you all could be out of the playoff and then be out of the playoffs going into the conference title game and win and then jump to a 4 seed.
So pretty much every year, if my team wants to make it to the playoffs, they got to win every game except one. They got to go 11-1 every year is what you're telling me pretty much.
Not necessarily, because you're going to have Colorado sitting here with 2 losses, ranked 21st, and if they win the Big 12, they're in. That's a 4 seed. That's what I'm saying. You all lose this weekend, you're out. But if everything else happens in front of you,
not necessarily.
But if everything else happens in front of you the right way, and you all end up winning the tiebreaker with all the 2-loss schools, which actually I think LSU wins the tiebreaker because of something. I think that's what I heard today.
They're a 3-loss team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, and Texas A&M are 2 losses, LSU has a tiebreaker over all of them.
Gotcha.
For some reason. I can't remember what it was. I think that's what I heard today. But or Alabama would have the tiebreaker. I don't know. Anyway, say Tennessee makes it to the SEC title. You would be out of the playoffs on December, that first weekend in December. And if you beat Texas, you go from out to a 4 seed with a first-round bye. Great, you made it. But how does that make any sense?
None at all.
I don't get it.
So if you lose, let's say you lose that playoff game, do you get to play another bowl game?
No,
How does that work?
You're done.
Season's over.
Yeah. See, The first round is at home games.
Yeah.
The second round is the Cotton Bowl, the Peach Bowl, the Weed Eater Bowl, the John Deere Bowl, and then you go to the semifinals, which is the Sugar Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and all of those, and then the National Championship.
Gotcha.
So technically, you could win the Sugar Bowl this year and the Cotton Bowl this year. Bring on all kinds of hardware.
Bringing in all that hardware.
Yeah, it's going to be. I don't know. This playoff. It's this week really just opened the eyes to how this committee's looking at it, and I don't agree with hardly any of it. The only thing I can agree with is Oregon deserves to be the number 1 seed because they've been the number 1 team all year long.
I agree.
But outside of that, I can argue almost every team here to be in a different position.
Yeah.
To me, you should have Indiana up there. Indiana should be in the top 4 because they're undefeated.
They are undefeated.
And who would have thought, we'll get off of this. Who would have thought at any point we would be saying Alabama will be traveling to Bloomington, Indiana for a first-round playoff game?
Never in a million years, man.
Yeah, I know, man. But hey,
crazy.
We'll figure out what happens after this amazing Week 12 that we got coming up. Week 12 matchups we got this week, guys, are absolutely huge. You want to go over the game, the big matchups, and then we'll go over the ones we're focusing on?
Yeah, man. So tonight, first game on the docket.
Well, hold on.
I was going to pull up tonight's game.
Well, tonight you got Tulsa and
ECU.
Tulsa and ECU. But I was going to say your big games this weekend for the watcher. We ain't covering all of them. That's Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas, Arkansas, Clemson versus Pitt, Utah versus Colorado, UVA versus Notre Dame, LSU at Florida, Nebraska at USC, Missouri at South Carolina, Oregon at Wisconsin, and Kansas at BYU. That's your big games this weekend. And we're not going to cover all those. We're going to talk about the ones we're really watching, the ones that may have the biggest implications. But we always want to talk about the big game going on Thursday night. And like you said, that is not ranked. 3-6 Tulsa versus 5-4 ECU. This game's at 7:30 on ESPN. And ECU is a 13-point favorite.
Yeah, 13-point favorite, rightfully so. ECU's 3-2 in the conference. I didn't realize that. They have a 78.4% chance to win this game, according to ESPN. No free shout-outs. Yeah, how you feel about that one?
I mean, I really think this game could be a toss-up because Tulsa is usually a fairly good program. And I think this year they've just kind of struggled. I think they've struggled with the run game based off looking at stats and stuff like that.
I was looking at that right there.
But as far as quarterback play, I feel like they're pretty even. So I think it's just going to come down to who wants it more in this one. And this game's at Tulsa. That's a really hard place to play in the middle of Oklahoma and one of the nicest campuses. I looked it up on Google Earth, Google Maps or whatever. That campus blows the Sooners out of the water. Tulsa's where it's at.
Tulsa's where it's at.
Yeah, if I'm an Oklahoma kid, I'm going Tulsa. Forget the Sooners.
Tulsa.
Yeah, boy. But yeah, man, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this game. You get two quarterbacks that like to turn over the football, but they both like to sling it. But I think I'm leaning toward Tulsa in this one.
Slinging turnovers. I like it.
Yeah, boy.
Leaning Tulsa.
I'm going to
go East Carolina.
I like that. I like the Pirates. Those black uniforms they wore last week were absolutely amazing.
The quarterback's got more interceptions than touchdowns, but hey, it's all right. Yeah, give me East Carolina. They're not going to cover, though. This game's going to be closer. It's going to be a 10-point spread.
10-point. The over-under 62.5.
Over-under 62.5
in this game.
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be a high-scoring game. High-scoring game.
I'm going to say a low-scoring game on a Thursday night in Tulsa. I feel like it's a country song somewhere. So Zach Top, free shout out on that. Get that written and start singing that one. Tulsa, Thursday night in Tulsa.
What's that movie? Twister.
Yeah, Twister.
Talk about Oklahoma.
Yeah. Ain't no love for Oklahoma.
Luke Holmes. Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
ain't no love for Oklahoma in that one.
Give me Tulsa in this one, and give me Tulsa to flip this one. Tulsa by 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much you putting on that? You want to put some money on that?
I might put some money on that one.
Why don't you put your money where your mouth is?
I might throw some dollars on that one.
You ain't going through, Jack.
I might. Hey, if it goes anything like last weekend, thanks, Georgia.
Yeah. Good old Georgia.
Lost $800 because of them.
Let you down.
Let me down.
Didn't let you down easy. No free shout-outs, Dirk Spinley.
That's a good song, too. Saturday, man, got some big matchups. Big matchups. This one's got some playoff implications for one team, and I kind of think me and you been overlooking them since the beginning of the year. I think we kind of just overlooked them, but they're playing real good football right now, like really good, and that's Colorado. Colorado playing Utah, who has probably been if it wasn't for Florida State being
for the Hokies.
If it wasn't for Florida State being as bad as they were, I would say Utah's probably the biggest disappointment this college football season.
And then Virginia Tech.
I would have Tech up there too. Tech's definitely in that top 5, but I mean, wasn't Utah ranked in the top 10 start the season off? Yeah, they were up there Florida State, and they just fell off 4 and 5 on the season.
They lost Cam Rising big time. I mean, he's been in and out all year.
Yeah. Coming in this game, Colorado is ranked 20th, and like we said, they control their own destiny because Iowa State lost back-to-back games. That takes Iowa State out of this, and now Colorado, they just went out. They're in the Big 12 championship, so they got to win out. They're a 10-point favorite. This game is in Boulder, Colorado. It's a 12 o'clock kick, so that's what, a 10 o'clock kick for them. So Deion's going to have to get his boys up early. There is some rumblings and some coaching rumors going on. It maybe Deion's leaving. They've been talks about this week, forming up on Twitter. Hopefully, I don't see that being a distraction outside of him being a distraction within his own self. But what do you think about this game, man?
Yeah, man. Utah has been a big letdown. They're 1-5 in the conference, but they did get robbed last week. I will say that again.
God, he looks just like his brother.
Just want to keep bringing that up. He really does, don't he?
Gosh.
Yeah, the over-under on this set at 47.5. I think it's going to be over. Colorado's offense is electric right now. Sanders tearing it up. Of course, you got Hunter, who's probably the best wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in the
Hunter's
league.
The best player in the country.
Yeah.
Hands down. Like, he is. Yeah. He's your number one draft pick. He is the best player.
And Sanders is easily probably top 3, top 4 quarterback.
I would agree with that, but I will tell you, there's a lot of people out there, and I don't know, maybe it's just the hate. People like to be haters. There's a lot of people that don't agree that Sanders is as good as he is, but I haven't really seen a game that I've watched of him this year where I'm like, okay.
He's been pretty impressive, man.
To me,
last week he had 4 touchdowns, I think 390 some yards passing.
He's 250 completions on 343 attempts, 2,800 passing yards, 24 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Yeah. And they've played some tough teams here lately.
Yeah.
Or tougher teams, rather, tougher opponents.
And name a receiver outside of Travis Hunter. Joe Horn Jr.?
Horn Jr. Yep. That's the only other one I can think of.
Right. I mean, he's doing this by himself.
Yeah, because they don't have a run game. That was their big problem at the beginning of the season. Right now, their leading rusher has 303 yards.
Right.
So, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. So,
Augusta Stave.
Yeah, Augusta Stave. Augusta. He's out on Augusta.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Colorado has a 74.9% chance to win this game. I like those odds a lot based off what we've seen from Utah. But Utah's defense is still pretty sound. They're still pretty good. They held BYU to 22. Held them to like 6 field goals, 7 field goals.
Yeah, they should have won that game. I mean, that was a terrible call by the refs. They should have won that game.
Yeah, should have won that game. So for that being said, give me Utah with the upset. Push Colorado Buffs out of there.
There's a lot of people that's cheering for that one this weekend. They do not want to see. Nobody wants Colorado in the playoffs.
Yeah, give me Utah.
I like that. I like it. One, because Zach Wilson's brother looks just like him. Utah, they need a big win. I mean, this is not the Utah we're used to. For Colorado, what Travis Hunter's done this season, people really need to take notice of this. Like, personally, you haven't seen this in our lifetime. I mean, I know people talk Charles Woodson. We were too young to realize what was happening. What Travis Hunter's doing, he's leading them. He could crack 1,000 yards receiving this year in this game, and also playing both sides of the ball. He's playing 97% of all snaps, and week in, week out. But my pick in this one, I'm going Colorado. They're going to keep riding that Buffalo. They're going to be the man on the Buffalo, and they're going to
Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, boy, they're going to ride it all the way to the college football playoffs. I think just Travis Hunter's just too dynamic, and I think he's going to solidify himself as the Heisman winner in these next couple of weeks. And I think it starts this weekend.
I wish they were the Bison.
They did almost lose to the Bison. In North Dakota State. Bison.
Yeah, it just sounds better. Comes the Colorado Bisons.
Buffs, baby.
Buffs. They pretty buff.
They're pretty tough.
That's going to be a tough game.
It'll be a tough game. Don't
sleep on Utah's defense.
It's definitely one that you could overlook.
Yep.
Another game here for a team it's scrapping. We talked about it earlier. 2-loss SEC school, Missouri at probably over the last, 4 weeks, probably one of the best teams in the country over the last 4 weeks.
Easily.
South Carolina and what Shane's doing down there. 6-3 South Carolina. This game's at 4:15 on the SEC network. South Carolina's a 12-point favorite. The over-under is 44.5. Missouri this year, I think, you were pretty hyped up about Missouri coming in. Brady Cook, Luther Burden. Luther Burden has been non-existent this year. Brady Cook has looked lost at times. That offensive line was projected to be one of the best in the SEC and not been that great either. They haven't stood on business much.
Old Drinkowitz.
And I don't know. Sailors is playing good. Shane's got them people fired up. It's a 4:15 game. It'll be getting dark, so they'll be playing your favorite song down there. And
The Road!
Yep, they'll be getting hyped up. What do you think about
Sandstorm, baby. Yeah, I mean, South Carolina, like you said, they've looked very impressive these past couple weeks. I mean, they beat Texas A&M, stormed the field on that. Then last week they won against Vandy. 6-3 now. I mean,
Oh yeah,
nobody really saw this out of South Carolina at the beginning of the season,
not
but
at all.
watching Sellers at the beginning of the season before he got hurt, I could tell he was the real deal. He was the real deal coming out of high school. And I told you that, like, the dude's built like a
Tank,
bison,
a tank, a bison,
a buff, built like, I was trying to think of the right word, man. Yeah, I can't say what I
I
want
thought
to
you
say,
were going
but
to say
yeah.
a brick.
Yeah, that's what I
Yep,
want to say.
okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. But I know he got some little listeners that listen. But yeah, that. He's 1,450 yards on the season. You also got Sanders, who's a pretty good running back. He's almost got 700 yards on the season so far.
10 touchdowns.
I like what I'm seeing right now from South Carolina's offensive defense. Shane's got that team playing really good. They got a 69.6% chance to win this game.
That freshman defensive end they got, that was the 5-star they got, that flipped from Georgia and flipped from Alabama.
Yeah.
He's been tearing it up for them. I mean, their defense is nice.
I'm going to pick South Carolina in this one, and I'm going to pick them to win it by 17.
I like that. I like that a lot. 4:15 kick in Columbia. It's not going to be hot, but it's going to be rowdy. Them college kids are going to be ready and fired up. I don't think Missouri stands a chance in this game. I mean, they've been an utter disappointment, and I think it finally comes to a head in this game. So give me South Carolina by 10 in this one.
South Carolina to cover. Nice. I like it. I like it.
A game here that I think a lot of people are not paying attention to.
Absolutely.
And
after last week.
And I'm bringing this one up because I talked to one of the guys from Porch Talk, Cameron Barbado, talked to him, and UVA is playing really good football. They had a big win last week, upset win, probably the quietest upset of the season against Pittsburgh, and they travel to Notre Dame. And granted, Notre Dame's got a whole lot more to lose than UVA, and I think it just sets up perfectly for an upset. Notre Dame is a 23.5-point favorite. But what do you think? What do you think about going into this one?
Yeah, UVA beat Pitt last week.
You got that right. And Pitt's had a great defense.
23-19. Nobody projected that. I kept watching that game on the ride back from Saxburg, and yeah, I was like, dude, I think Virginia's going to beat Pitt, and they did. Which Pitt, was they kind of haven't looked like Pitt ever since the SMU game. SMU's exposed them, so I think UVA just leaned on that. It is a tough place to play at Notre Dame. I'm not going to say it isn't. I do like Leonard a lot.
Touchdown Jesus.
He's kind of picked it up here past couple weeks. He's looked a lot better. He looks more comfortable in that offense. But he's also leading in rushing, too. So he's leading in rushing and passing, which I don't really like that.
Hey,
so you know what?
Hot take here for you today.
Hot take, go for it.
Look at Riley Leonard. Look at his picture.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not Ethan Witt with clean shaved.
Kind of does look like it. Shout out to Ethan. No free shout outs.
Shout out to Ethan.
He better be sweeping and mopping the floors right now. God. No. Yeah, he does kind of look like him a little bit.
He does. It's weird.
Might have to make that comparison, put a picture out at the gym for him.
Yeah, I need to. That one in particular.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. But, yeah, Riley Leonard. I don't think Riley Leonard can do it all in this game. Just going to say that.
Okay.
So give me Virginia close. I think Virginia shocks the world.
That'd be a huge upset, and I mean, I like it. Colin Dre has been one of the best quarterbacks in ACC this year. Nobody's talked about him. There's a lot of speculation that he may transfer because from sources I've heard, there's a lot of teams already offering money to bring him in. But I'm with you, man. I feel like this is a trap game for Notre Dame because they got an undefeated Army coming to town next week, and
might overlook them.
Everybody's overlooking. Nobody's talking about UVA. Nobody's talking about this game. Nobody's talking about it at all. So, yeah, give me UVA. I'm going to agree with you. Give me UVA close by 3.
I'm expecting like a 26-24.
Yeah, that's about what I'm thinking. Maybe like a 2017 type game.
Yeah, low scoring.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think Riley Leonard could do it all. They're going to have to find somebody to.
Somebody's going to step up.
Before we get into the game of the week,
yeah,
I have some sources close to me from a really good friend of mine. His buddy works for Virginia Tech and works for the NIL and fundraising department and all that. And last year, Drones got offered $30 million from LSU to come play quarterback.
Wow.
And he said no. And There's a lot of people speculating if he's going to transfer out, that now he's regretting that decision, and that's why he has played as bad as he has. Not saying he's going to LSU, but probably speculation is that Jones may enter that transfer portal, have one more year of eligibility, and there's a lot of people worried that they're going to have a Hendon Hooker 2.0.
Come on down, Nealon, baby. We transform you.
But just to keep that on the back burner for you Tech fans, not to add insult to injury, what's happened this year, but that might lead into a little bit of why.
Wouldn't that be something? Well, their backup's better than Drones this year, so.
And that's what a lot of people are saying. Maybe he just gave up and just not wanting to play to his full.
He didn't look good against Miami, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Clemson.
Oh, Clemson, sorry. I was just thinking about the U,
was you at the Miami game?
I was everywhere.
But
Tyler's talking sports in Miami, baby.
All right, guys, this is probably why everybody's here. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Maybe.
Game of the week, number 7, Tennessee, 8-1, at number 3. I don't know why that says number 3, not 3. Why does ESPN really mess that up?
They just really love Georgia, man.
At 13, UGA. This game is in Athens. It's a 7:30 kick, night game, blackout. There's speculation that Georgia may pull out the black dog jerseys. Nobody said nothing. Kirby said they don't deserve to have anything special by the way they played.
I agree.
Kirby did get in trouble this week for calling James Pope an idiot.
Yep, I saw that.
I agree about that.
He was celebrating after the game.
Yeah, he was celebrating some high school
with Ole Miss.
Yeah, he was celebrating. The guy he was celebrating with, he lived with them for a long time.
Yeah,
in Buford.
Saw that. Yeah.
But Kirby had to come out and make an apology. That's Kirby getting fired up. I get it. But coming in this game, I'm kind of shocked by this.
What an idiot.
What an idiot. He's stupid. Yeah. That's why he was a 3-star. But anyway, UGA, I'm shocked by this. They're an 8.5-point favorite coming into this game, and that really shocks me. The last time that Tennessee came to Athens,
2016.
Ranked higher. Well, no, the last time that they came in ranked higher was the Hendon Hooker season, and Georgia won that game. So we'll see what happens here. But they got on this. I'll read this, and then you can go over some of this other stuff. The ESPN predictor that has Georgia.
Y'all came to Neyland that year.
It was the year y'all were ranked number 1 in the country. Y'all came to Athens.
Oh, that was Athens. Sorry, last year was Joe Milton year. Sorry,
my apologies. Yeah, y'all were 1 and we were 3. That was when we had Stetson. That was the year we won the Natty.
Yeah.
But Georgia's a 61.
That's when y'all had a quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, 61. I'm gonna get into that.
That's fine.
61.8% is what ESPN says that Georgia's predicted to win this game. Quarterback comparison, honestly, they're about even. I mean, you take away some of the turnovers from Carson Beck, they're about even. I mean, Nico's 11 touchdowns.
Nico's missed two games pretty much. A game. Sorry, he's missed a game total.
Oh yeah, but I mean, still, they're. If you add in those games, like I said, they're pretty much even as far as yards, touchdowns, all that stuff. Nico's.
How long's Beck been there?
Beck, this is his second year start.
Second year start, but he's a senior, right? Or is he junior? I'm just asking a question.
I think he's a redshirt junior.
So he'll come back next year. That's what I was wanting to know. Maybe.
I mean, actually, no. I think he might be a senior.
I thought he was a senior.
He might be yeah, he's a senior because he started as a junior last year. He's a senior.
He's a senior. Okay.
But here's the big difference here in this game. What I'm thinking, Dylan Sampson. I think this could be the game. We'll talk about it too. He could really solidify his Heisman candidacy. He is absolutely dominating. He's running the football like Nick Chubb, Sony Michel. That's how I look at him. He's a hybrid to me of Nick Chubb and Sony Michel.
Fun fact for you. He's got the same numbers. I think he's like 60 yards off on his total yardage as Derrick Henry when he won the Heisman in 2015.
Yep.
He's got Sampson has more touchdowns. I think he's got one more touchdown, but he has about 60 or 70 yards less. It's very, very close.
Yeah, very similar.
And Derrick Henry won the Heisman that year, which Sampson is in the top 10 finally in Heisman rankings. Thank God.
Yeah.
He's getting overlooked.
I think I got him 6 right now from what I've seen earlier this week. I got him up to 6, so that's why I'm saying this game could be the one for him. Here's the part where I really think Georgia and Tennessee are even, and there's not many places I think they're even. And I think right here in the wide receiver core, I think they're very even on this one.
Yeah.
As far as Tennessee actually catches the balls that are thrown to them, they don't drop them like Georgia.
We dropped a couple against Kentucky.
Yeah, but still,
right on the money.
Y'all are ranked in the bottom half of drop passes. We're ranked number 2 in the country.
Right.
So, but I had some notes here. If you want to go over that, the history of the game.
History of the game.
Yeah.
We done talked on this a little bit. Georgia's 7-1 in the series dating back to 2016. That's the year Josh Dobbs threw the Hail Mary.
I would love to have Krista on it now so she could tell you her point of view of that, but like you said,
I can tell you exactly where I was at. I was on my way to Logan's Roadhouse in Bristol.
Yeah.
And I was watching it or listening to it on the radio.
Yes.
And y'all just had, it was 30-some seconds
you were
left.
texting each other. I remember very well.
And y'all just had hit the wide receiver running down the field, so y'all took the lead, right?
Yep.
And I was, very disappointed, pretty mad. Well, we pulled into Logan's Roadhouse. We sat down in the booth, and then right when we was about to sit down, he threw the Hail Mary.
Yep. And who caught that one?
Plays for the 49ers now. Hang on. God. Number 15. Juan Jennings. There we go.
Yep, Juan Jennings.
Took me a second. I think of his name.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll read the next. I'll read the next one. You can read. We'll read every other one.
Hey, okay. I like this.
Yeah. Georgia owns a 28-23-2 overall record edge in this series. This series dates back. I didn't realize this. Dates back all the way to 1899.
I didn't know that.
There's a lot of years there they didn't play because a lot of the volunteers and a lot of the Georgia fans or players actually entered the war, and we didn't have football, so that's why there's a big gap there. But yeah,
Game day in SEC Nation will be in Athens for this one for the first time in 2024. That's crazy.
Yep, first time, both of them together at the same time. Georgia is 18-18 when game day is on site, and 7-2 at Athens when game day is there.
Georgia is 27-12 when SEC is on site, and 8-3 at Athens. Yeah, SEC Nation will be there
SEC
too.
Nation. Yep, it's the first time this season they've been there together. The first time game day had a spelled that wrong. Georgia game.
You spelled Georgia wrong all the way through this, pretty much.
I did, didn't I?
You did.
After that,
I wasn't going to say anything. I can read it.
Yeah, I was in a hurry. Anyway, Georgia.
You mean Georgia?
Georgia.
Georgia.
Georgia game was the first game day that Georgia ever participated in was September 9th, 1995. I was 4 years old, actually.
29 years ago.
I was 3 years old, going to be 4, in Knoxville, where the unranked Dawgs pulled off the upset. Almost pulled off the upset of number 8 UT, 30-27. UT prevailed at the end of that game to pull it off.
Boy, go Vols.
Yeah, boy.
Georgia is on a school record 28-game home winning streak. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive, and I'm worried it comes to an end. Heupel was 0-3 in this series, but the Vols have had what some consider an all-time high this season, surpassing that 98 season.
Been a pretty good season. Not gonna lie. This season, Tennessee outranks UGA on almost every stat, with the exception of the passing game, where Beck has 609 more yards than Nico.
Ain't that something?
He missed a game.
This season, Tennessee outrank. Oh, you read that one. However, Nico has taken a much better care of the football this year, and we talked about that. I mean, he's taken care of the football. There were several times we were worried about Nico with the turnovers. He's taking care of the football.
Last couple games, he's looked pretty good. Here's the thing, too. Nico might not be playing. It's still not fully announced.
He's playing.
If Gaston Moore is playing,
He's
go
playing.
ahead and give Georgia the win.
I've already read all the Vols report. Nico's
I have
playing.
too, but I mean, okay.
He's playing.
They're having ball talk. Guys, we record on Wednesday nights, but they're having ball talk in 5 minutes.
Literally 5 minutes before we started recording, Vol report.
Yeah. That's
100% chance Nico was on the field playing Saturday.
Okay. Kind of worries me, though. How long is he going to get to play before he gets rattled?
We're going to talk about it. Let's get through these. UGA leads the country in drop passes with over 40 this season, which is absolutely insane.
Is Beck the problem? Some, if not all, would say yes. However, his O-line ranks last in pass protection in SEC. Ouch.
Yes.
Can't do much with that. While the other side, UT ranks first in SEC for offensive line protection.
Yeah, and I was looking into it. He's having an average of 1.2 to 1.9 seconds or 2 seconds in between snapping the football and having to get a pass off. On average, every other SEC quarterback has anywhere from 2.2 to 2.7 seconds.
That's a big deal.
And I contribute a lot of this stuff. And I mean, I know he lost Ladd McConkey. I know he lost Brock Bowers. But last year, he lost 3 linemen, had to move a center over to guard. Completely different. No run game to lean on. It's been all on Beck's shoulders this year, and I get he's looked terrible. I'm not sitting here saying that he hasn't looked bad, but he hasn't had much help either to make himself look any better. And that's the one aspect of where I see Tennessee's offensive line, other than a couple games that I've watched where they've made some stupid penalties and maybe went a little brain dead a play or two. Tennessee's had been solid. The way UGA played last week against the sack team of the country, the Ole Miss leading the country in sacks, and that pass rush that they have a great pass rush. Don't get me wrong. What they brought in the transfer portal was dominant, and it showed. But what Tennessee has with James Pierce Jr. and some of those other players on that front four, and the secondary being probably the best secondary in the country that nobody's talking about, and definitely the best secondary in the SEC, is only going to make that front four even better, and that worries me coming into this. Can Beck have any time to throw the football?
Yeah, that's a big question mark. Also, something you never hear of is this matchup. UT comes in this game with a way better secondary, just like you said. Dylan Sampson could win the Heisman in this game. What you're meaning by that is he has a breakout game that wins the game.
I mean, this is set up for a Heisman moment.
Hopefully so. Hopefully shows up.
I mean, he shows up. He does what he did against Kentucky.
Yeah.
He has a game like that against Georgia at Georgia, and y'all win this game. I don't see how you don't have him in the Heisman discussion. Experts say due to the Vols having only one ranked win and NC State and Oklahoma being so bad, this game is a playoff elimination. We talked about that. And Saturday night in Athens is going to be a game, guys, nobody's going to want to miss because this is literally the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about this game? What's your biggest takeaways? Who's your players to watch for Tennessee? I'll let you focus on Tennessee. I'll focus on Georgia. What do you think, bud?
Yeah, so always a little nervous. It's a road game. We don't play very well on the road. It's proven. Don't have a good record on the road. That concerns me. I think crowd noise is going to be a problem for Tennessee starting out. Cannot have a slow start. They look good starting against.
Tell me about a slow start.
Cannot slow start. They had a good start against Mississippi State. Had all momentum going their way. Sampson fumbled the ball. Could win up 14-0. Gave them the ball back. Then we got an interception, and then they got stopped on the 1-yard goal line. So it's still 7-0. So you got to punch it in on those moments.
Agreed.
You got to put points up fast, and that's against Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Georgia's a much better defense. Georgia's always good defensive team. I think they're 13th in the nation, 12th in the nation, something like that. So they're still top 25. That is their best stat. Going into Georgia, like I said, I'm a little bit nervous. Players to watch, you already touched on it. Dylan Sampson, of course, the dog. A little bit worried because he did play injured a little bit last week on his ankle.
I'll let you have Dylan Sampson here. Give me one player that the typical college fan that doesn't know Tennessee football needs to watch out for.
Gerard McCoy is a cornerback for Tennessee's defense. He's probably the best cornerback on the team.
So
he's a stud.
Okay, I like that. I like that right there. I like that a lot. So, what are you thinking here? Where's your gut setting right here? I mean, I know you're not going to go against your Vols.
Never.
So what are you thinking?
Yeah, like I said, I'm nervous. I think it's going to be a close game, a lot closer than people think. It could go either way. I mean, the way these teams, the worst thing that could happen was last week with Georgia losing to Ole Miss for Tennessee before this game. If Georgia would have won that game, I'd have felt better. But knowing they lost and how pissed off Kirby Smart's going to be and have this team ready to play this Saturday, it's going to be tough. And Tennessee's got to have their A game. They'll be ready. I think Heupel's going to have them ready. They've been looking forward to this game all season. They can say what they want, but this is one of the main reasons they come to Tennessee is to play Georgia and Alabama. They said that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I do think Tennessee will cover. Naturally, I'm going to pick Tennessee to win. So I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be like a 31-28, 28-31, 31-34, somewhere in that ballpark.
So you're saying Georgia's going to be the first team to score more than 20 on you guys?
Yeah, I think they lose it here.
Okay. I like all that. I mean, I agree with all your takes on that one. I am worried too, and I'll be honest with you, this is probably the most worried I've been about a Georgia football game. And you know me, I'm pretty confident, maybe a little cocky when it comes to Georgia football. And everything, but this is probably the least confident I've been in them since they played Arizona State.
You've won 8 years straight.
Well, I'm going back all the way to 2012.
7 years straight.
2012 when they had no Sean Moreno and that team, and they were at Arizona State, ranked third in the country, and got the brakes blew off of them. And this also reminds me of the time when they played Boise State in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game and got the brakes blew off of them. But I was really confident coming into that one because it was Boise State. I touched on it. That front four, that secondary for Tennessee really bothers me. I think Georgia's got to develop a run game. I don't care who the running back is. I don't care if it's NTN or I don't care if it's Robinson. They've got to have at least 80 yards rushing in this game. They cannot start out slow. They need to if they force Nico into a turnover, they need to capitalize on it, and they need to keep their foot on the gas. I think if Georgia can get a pass rush on Nico like they got on Quinn Ewers, I think it really rattles Nico because, one, hostile environment. Really hasn't been hit that much this year unless he's been on the run. He hasn't really seen that pocket collapse around him a lot.
Well, he's really good at scrambling when it does.
He is, and I'm saying that they keep that contained. That's the one thing I will say. Georgia's got the speed on the edge. I think can keep him in check for the most part. But Nico's an athlete. Nico's going to get his. The offense worries me. I think the defense is going to come in this game pissed off. But 100% agree with that. I think Malachi Starks, I think that defensive front, everybody there is going to be mad. Defense is going to do everything they can to keep Tennessee out of that end zone. The offense has to score on their first possession of the game. I don't care if it's 3 points. I don't care if it's 7 points. I don't care however it is, 6 points. They don't get the extra point, whatever. They've got to score on that first possession to give themselves confidence that hey, we can do this. My X factor in this game are players to watch. I'm going to say Carson Beck. I'm going with Carson Beck. I'm saying this is the game where he's going to maybe shut up the naysayers, go back to what he was at last year if it's possible. I think this game is a make-or-break game. Okay, has Beck still got it, or is it a fluke? I think this game will show it because he's playing an elite defense with an elite secondary.
And in fact, Tennessee's one of 6 or one of 7 teams with a top 10 offense and top 10 defense.
Yeah. I mean, it's really weird, but you are literally – it's like Georgia and Tennessee flipped.
I wouldn't necessarily say flip.
Well, I mean, this season alone.
But it's about time the tide's starting to shift, my God.
Well, I mean, Georgia has been a top 10 team on both sides of the ball for like the last 3 years. And other than Alabama, I think they're the only 2. And then you all have done it this year. And now here we are talking about my quarterback making turnovers, being inconsistent, playing like Joe Milton out there. Yeah. And it's odd. But I'm going to, like I said, my player to watch definitely going to be Carson Beck. And a player I want to tell people to focus on because I think it's going to be the key to this game for Georgia is that offensive line. It's going to be Tate Ratledge. Watching him, and if he can lead that line, keep him in check, keep the blocks, keep the sacks and the pressure off Beck, give him a little bit more time to find that open receiver. And another one, Humphreys, the transfer out of Vandy. I think this is his game to step up and say, everybody was talking how Lad McConkey's gone, no big deal. This guy's going to fill those shoes. He hasn't done nothing yet. It's time to step up and do that. But I'm going to go – I want to say, because I want Georgia to be the team to score 20 on Tennessee, so I can have it win or lose. I want to be able to say that. But I'm going to say that Georgia wins this football game 17-16.
17-16, 1 point spread.
Yep, Georgia's going to go.
It very well could be a low-scoring game like that.
I just feel like I feel like this is going to be a defensive battle, a knockout, drag-out, Coach Taylor laying the boom type game, and it's going to be which offense takes advantage of the first mistake that's made.
Yeah.
If we make the turnover and you all capitalize on it, I think it puts you in a driver's seat, vice versa on the other side.
Going to be a game. Going to be a good one.
Going to be a good one, buddy. I'm excited about it. Me and you talk some crap about it, have some fun. Game day going to be – I wish we could go there. I'd love to be down there.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I could have got us – probably could have got us down there at least tailgate. Couldn't have got us into the game because tickets are now more expensive for this game than they was for the Alabama-Tennessee game.
I don't know.
So – thanks, Tennessee. Tennessee seems to bring the money. I feel like if Tennessee played Emory and Henry at Emory and Henry,
it'd be $200 ticket.
Oh yeah, it'd be stupid.
UTEP is still like $100,
and that's a day game.
Yeah, the first day game, pretty much the whole season.
Yeah, pretty wild.
It is.
But I'm excited about it, buddy. I think it's gonna be one. I think this will be one. Maybe not a lot of people will talk about, but I think if you write down in the history book of UT and Georgia, I think this one goes in there as one of the top 5 greatest games in the series.
I hope so. I hope it's a great game.
We'll see. Good
Just
luck to you.
My Vols prevail. Yeah, good luck to you, man.
Yep.
See if I can talk to you Sunday.
We'll see. We might not be able to record. Might have to have somebody else. Brian Long.
Watch it be like a pisser, like 52-0.
Oh, God. If I'll tell you this, if Tennessee blows out Georgia, I'm saying
the opposite way. Watch it be the opposite way.
I'm just saying, if Tennessee blows out Georgia, I'm letting Krista record in my place because she can be the Vols fan.
Gotcha.
I'll say this too. I'll even put this out there. If Tennessee blows out Georgia, I will rep Vols gear every Saturday for the rest of the season, and I will cheer for the Vols as if I'm a number 1 fan of the Vols for the rest of the season.
All you gotta do, guys, if you ever want to join a fan base, get a hat, get a shirt.
Or a hoodie.
That's all you need. Or a hoodie. Yeah. Everybody thinks you're part of them.
That's right. But, guys, we do have some other games. Texas playing Arkansas, 12 p.m. ABC. Texas is a 13.5-point favorite. Who you got now?
Tougher game than people going to realize. Arkansas is a tough little place to play. I picked, I can't remember who it was. I think it was a couple weeks back. I picked Arkansas to win. They got blown out big.
LSU.
Kind of let me down there. I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. Give me Texas.
One Texas, I like it. I'm giving me Texas in this one too. I think Texas tries to send a point to the committee, and people have been bagging on them in this game. And I think, honestly, they're looking at Tennessee for the SEC title game, and I think they're going to try to send a message. This is how you play against Arkansas. Ohio State at Northwestern. This game is on the lake. If y'all don't know, Northwestern doesn't have a football stadium at their campus anymore because it got demolished. They're renovating it, so they actually built a stadium on, I think, Lake Erie. This game is right on the edge of the lake.
Nice.
12 o'clock kick. Ohio State has yet to play a night game this year other than the Oregon game.
That's weird.
They've yet to play a game at home at night. First time in the history of Ohio State. And the Indiana game, they scheduled it for 12. And I asked Ohio State fan, a long-time Ohio State fan, why that is. And they said because last year they had so much trouble with intoxicated college students and damages to the stadium that they have refused to play night games there.
Wow.
This season. So they kind of put themselves on a probation.
That sucks.
But Ohio State at Northwestern. Ohio State's a 28.5-point favorite. Do you see a potential upset here? Is this a cakewalk for Ohio State?
Cakewalk,
Ohio State. I'll take you on that one too. I'll agree with you there. Another game here, a sneaky Boston College team with a great coach and Coach O'Brien playing at SMU. SMU's a 17-point favorite. This game's at 3:30 on ESPN. Who you got?
SMU wins, but will not cover.
I like that too. I'm gonna give me SMU by 7, so I'll go with you not covering, but SMU close by 7. Because Boston College travels really good on the road. They play really good on the road. They play better on the road than they do at home.
That's weird.
Oregon at Wisconsin, 7:30 NBC night game. Gonna be cold up there in Wisconsin. Oregon is it. Go ahead.
Wisconsin don't have an offense, man.
They don't, but they've been playing better.
They got a defense though.
They've been playing a lot better with the run game too. They finally established the run game.
Really have. I think this game will be closer than people think.
14.5-point favorite Oregon.
Oregon's had some closer games.
They played. I mean, look, let's go back just a little bit here. Week 1, Idaho barely won that game.
Yep.
Boise State, Ohio State. I mean, they've been on the edge of losing.
Been on the edge. Undefeated this long in.
Do you want to stamp a mild upset alert here?
I think I would. This game's at Wisconsin.
It is. It's at Wisconsin.
Wisconsin was in the game, too, against Alabama early.
Yep, until the quarterback got hurt.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And since that Bama game, they have been one of the better teams in the Big Ten.
They really have. Yeah, give me Wisconsin.
This will be a huge game. I mean, this will be a game for Luke Fickell, who they hired out of Cincinnati 2 years ago to come in and be that guy. This could be a huge game, but I'm going to go Oregon and Dan Landing in this one. I think they pull it out close, 3-point game. Give me Oregon. LSU at Florida. Lagway is probably playing from what I've been seeing. I haven't heard official word, just what I've been hearing on some of the pages and stuff we follow. LSU, it shocks me. This game's at Florida, and they're only a 4.5-point favorite after Texas absolutely dismantled Florida.
They've looked terrible past couple weeks.
What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I like LSU in this one.
LSU in this one? You know what? Give me Florida in this one, pulling off the upset. Take Florida. James Madison at ODU. This is a huge game right here. Both these teams playing really well, solid defenses. JMU is a 3-point favorite in this one. This game is at ODU. Who you got? You got the Dukes or do you got the Monarchs?
I got the Dukes this week because they're going to lose next week.
I like it. Give me James Madison so they can get high and then get beat next weekend.
Yeah, boy.
Last one, big one here. A lot of people were predicting an upset here. Kansas at BYU, late game. If you still
Kansas
got enough
looked
energy,
good last week.
They did. They looked really good, and they've been playing better. If you got enough energy after some of these big games, this is going to be a good one. 10:15 p.m. on ESPN in BYU. Going to be another cold game. Could be snowing. BYU's a 3-point favorite. Who you got?
Brigham Young. Yeah, give me Kansas. Go Jayhawks.
Woo! That would shake up the college football playoff.
Give me Kansas.
I've been a big fan of BYU. I think they're tough to play at home. Give me BYU by 6.
It's going to be a close game.
Yeah, give me BYU by 6. Last thing, guys, I want to remind y'all the Trey Bunn College Pick'em is still going on. Don't really think there's much of a chance of anybody else winning it. But, guys, get those picks in. Maybe Trey will oversleep and forget to make some picks. You might catch up on him. But get those picks in by noon Saturday. But, guys, I've enjoyed this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as we have. We're excited about it. Me and him got a lot of implications this weekend. Going to determine how we look at the rest of the college football season.
Yeah.
Got any final thoughts you want to shout out to, bud?
Nah, just enjoy college football this weekend. Shout out to my wife. It's her birthday this Saturday. So
yeah, shout out Danielle.
Hopefully the Vols can give us a win for that.
That'd be great. Shout out
That would be
Danielle.
nice.
How old is she going to be?
I can't say her age on the podcast.
She's going to be like
She's older than me, though.
42, right?
64.
64. She looked good for 64.
64, about hit retirement. Yep.
Yeah, boy.
Hopefully they don't change the age again.
Shout out Danielle. Also, I want to shout out just real fast. I know we went a little long here. I want to shout out some people who support our TikTok more than probably most. And that would be Nick Compton. Nick Compton, if you're listening, buddy, I appreciate everything you're doing. And
I'll see him tomorrow. I
have determined that the gut feelings that I've had in all the podcasts have been indigestion. So I'm done with saying I have a gut feeling. I'm just thinking it's going to be gas or indigestion. So I'm done saying a gut feeling. But Nick, we appreciate everything you liking all of our stuff, supporting us. Everybody who supports us, you guys are the best. It's been an incredible year. Hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful weekend. Be safe out there and have a good one, guys. See y'all.
Take care. See y'all.